or sewer maintenance?
Which pays more?
That'd be the one with the shit.
In HBO's The Last of Us, there are a number of jobs that people take, and we learn a little bit about what economists will call compensating wage differentials, which is the extra pay people need to receive to do a job that's either unappealing or downright dangerous. I am pleased to be joined by Chris Clark again from Washington State University. Chris, thank you again. Appreciate your time.
I'm glad to keep talking about more economics of The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. Here, so I mentioned looking at views of work. We're going to start with a short clip, and then we'll be right back to discuss.
We were going to move Ellie out of the zone tonight, but we won't make it anywhere like this, not for a while anyway. So now I'm thinking you're going to do it.
The hell
I'm not
we
going
are.
with them.
Let me take her.
Tess, we don't have time for this.
Oh, you don't have time?
Who is she?
To you, she's cargo.
We don't smuggle people. Sorry.
I can do it. Kim, you don't have a fucking ear on your fucking head, could you please? There's a team of fireflies waiting for her at the old state house. I know what's out there. We were going with an entire squadron for that very reason. But now I don't have a truck, I don't have a squadron, Fedra's 5 minutes away. What I do have is you. And I know what you're both capable of. For better or worse.
What are they capable of?
You get her there safely, and they'll give you what you need. Not just a battery, the whole thing. Fueled up truck, guns, supplies, all of it. I swear. I swear.
So the state house is across there. It's about a 10-minute walk if you could go straight.
So,
Long way or short way?
I mean, it's the long way or the we're fucking dead way.
well, I vote long way, just based on that limited information.
You have to check it from the hotel first.
We're watching this unedited. Once it's on YouTube, there will be bleeps, and there are a lot of bleeps from that. At least sounding that out. Or at least maybe we'll blank out the sound. But a pretty good example here of compensating wage differential that's needed. I don't know that there's a much more dangerous job here than what Joel.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to pass through not just Fedra, the authoritarian government, and escape them, but then after he leaves the safety of his government, he's got to face the zombies, face the infected.
Yeah, and it's clear they're not excited about doing this. They don't want to do this, but
Nope.
and really, who would want to do this? It sounds like an absolutely terrible job and a dangerous job, and yeah, I can understand.
The probability of death is pretty high, and as we see, I mean, he's an experienced individual, and yet over and over again, he's as a character, he's this close to dying. You know, he's just barely killing the infected before they kill him.
Yeah, and so what induces somebody to do that? Just like well, I'll pause for real world examples. What induces them to do it? It's the money, right? They're offered a lot of compensation for one particular job. They're going to be paid extremely well.
A whole truck, guns, supplies, fuel. That's a huge payment.
It's a huge haul for a job that obviously has a lot of value to the Fireflies and getting Ellie over safely. As we know that they view her as the key to a vaccine, which is their whole life.
Which is why they're willing to pay that much if they can.
Why they're willing to pay it. And gains from trade that happen here. There are really quite a few jobs in the US and in the world that you would see compensating wage differentials for the danger aspect. I'm wondering if any come to your mind when you...
Well, the two most dangerous jobs in America are not a firefighter, are not a police officer, even though, yes, they are dangerous relative to what you and I do. But
hey, I almost got a paper cut. I mean, come on.
The two most dangerous jobs are logging and fishing.
Yeah.
So going out of the deep ocean with your big rig, that's the most dangerous, and I think logging is the second most dangerous.
I remember as a college student, there would be signs up that you could go make money, like fishing in Alaska over the summer, and they showed how much money it is. And was like, wow, that's so much money. I don't really want to go to Alaska, but that's so much. And I thankfully had a friend who was smarter than me who said, don't ever do that. That's like the most dangerous thing you could possibly do. That's like,
Oh, really?
oh, and I'm
I
like,
had friends who did it. And I almost did it one summer. I thought very
okay.
seriously about it because the money was good. You go out on a boat, you don't have any of these skills before, and yet they pay you bucks. They pay you real big bucks.
Yeah, yeah. So, and that's paying you. Why? Why is that? Why is the money so big? Well, the risk of death is enormously high, and
Relative to other options. I mean,
relative to
compared to
yeah,
50 years ago or even 100 years ago, no. But relative to the options we have today, as an American 20-year-old,
yeah.
it's far more dangerous.
It's far more dangerous. So, compensating wage differentials, it's the extra payment that would be needed because the supply of people who would want to do this particular job is going to be a bit lower. In order to get people to do the job, extra pay must be required. But it's not just danger jobs. I'm going to show another clip here that shows where a wage differential would be introduced, and it's not the danger of the job. And we will go to that right now.
10.
You got anything else?
Nothing today. Tomorrow we got street sweeping or sewer maintenance.
Which pays more?
That'd be the one with the shit. Lake crew, 4 p.m. start.
Simple clip. Makes a ton of sense, right? If people just got to choose and there was no wage difference, people who would the sewer maintenance one wouldn't be the most exciting. And so compensating wage differentials, right? They can come from a more dangerous job, an extra premium
Yes.
for a more dangerous job. But you also see basically positive and negative differentials in terms of jobs that are either less enjoyable versus more enjoyable.
Right. Well, or less, even less. I mean, it's true today. How much does a janitor get paid? Which, yes, the janitors have to clean toilets, and that's no one enjoys that. Or a garbage man.
Yeah,
Garbage men get paid more.
yeah,
That's,
yeah.
I mean, and maybe the skill of driving the big truck or something that you get compensated for that kind of training and that liability. But it's also, I mean, garbage. Dealing with garbage all day, every day is worse than just sweeping some floors and vacuuming and
Yeah, yep.
cleaning a few bathrooms.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And even within, I've always thought within our profession, we both got PhDs in economics. And then when you're getting a PhD, during the process, right, there's a number of career routes people can go. I've always
Sure.
felt and always was thrilled to take the trade-off. If you become an economics professor, your pay's fine, right? You do okay. You make a decent living,
Make a decent living. I do.
but for
Yeah.
somebody with a PhD,
With my skill set, yeah.
you're giving up.
What were my colleagues making who graduated in the same program as me when they went into and worked for a bank or the private sector? They are making 50 to 80% more. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and some people could be making, if you're in academia and you also try to move up into other roles, and I'm in a dean's role now, and
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest, paid more than I ever thought I'd be paid in my life to be in this role, right? Like, I mean, that's just being perfectly honest, and I feel blessed to be in the job that I
Yeah.
have. Comparatively, like if you go in the private sector and you move up at a Goldman Sachs or a JP Morgan, right? Like, once again, it's
Oh,
very good, but it's,
it would be you're a millionaire.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're so I've
Yeah.
always thought, and it's always been a trade-off that I've been thrilled to do, because the job of educating people, and even in the role I'm in now, it's helping to make sure students get educated, is so rewarding.
It's
And
incredibly
it's
rewarding.
so enjoyable, and I feel so good about what I do, and I know I'm making a difference. Well, who wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because we want to do that, right, the supply will be a little higher on this side and our wages a little bit lower relative to the
Yeah.
jobs that, are still doing good in the world. There's value to people in financial roles, but not
Yeah.
not as apparent on how much you're changing lives. So
Oh, I mean, well, there's all these, not to toot our home too much about how cushy our jobs are, but we get summers off. We just talked, when we started this call, we was like, what are you doing for spring break? You going on vacation? So we get holidays, summers off. No, I mean, you end up actually it's not all summer off. You still end up working a lot, but you work less in the summer, and there's just a lot of flexibility. I also don't have a boss hovering over me. I mean, I have a department chair, but like, I don't have a boss I have to report to every day.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
tremendous amount of academic freedom and intellectual freedom. If I'm bored with a book, I can put it down and just read whatever I want.
yeah.
So all of that is like compensation and that you wouldn't get with having to work for some boring bank.
Yeah, 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 and it's pretty glorious, and right, and therefore there are differences we see here. There's differences, it's part of why I've explained like people who want to go into K-12 education, right? You can make a perfectly fine living. You're making a difference in the world. A lot of people, a lot of kids think I'd love to be a teacher, and the supply is high, and it might be lower than once again some other equivalent jobs.
Yeah.
And so it's basically, I mean, we're saying compensating wage differentials, but really it's just different labor markets in many ways, supply and demand and labor. I,
It's all just supply and demand. Yeah. So I mean, one places where wages are low is if the supply is really, really high. And one things that prevents the supply going high is the jobs are not as fun. They're not as good. They're more unpleasant and or more dangerous. All of
Sure.
that's going to restrict supply. And so therefore, in order for a firm to get somebody to do it, they have to pay more.
They have to pay more. Just like I believe this is Fedra. I lose track of all the different government agencies that have
Yeah.
emerged within the show. Fedra has to offer more for the sewer maintenance in order to get Joel to take to go ahead and do that. But well, any other watched a couple clips here. Any other thoughts on markets in The Last of Us?
On this question, on this question, I do have a thought, but I don't know how it would really apply here. So no, I'm going to hold off on
Okay,
that.
great,
It's
great.
too.
Well,
That was
no,
good.
thank you. Thank you again. And thank you to everybody for watching. Once again, I'll be dropping a video here once a week during the second season. I'm getting ahead of myself. Second season of HBO's The Last of Us. So please like and subscribe, and you'll get notifications. Go to find Chris at Econ Chris Clark on your favorite social media site, and you'll get his content as well. And Chris, yeah, thanks again for taking some time.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
No problem.
Enjoy season 2, everybody.
Enjoy season 2, and we'll see everybody in the next episode.